Aboard the Flagstaff Star Chasers, taking on your Alaska Goldpanners. If you'll turn to your programs, let's meet the lineups for the second game. First, for the Flagstaff Star Chasers. Batting first, the center fielder, wearing number 11, Travis Strickler. Batting second, the third baseman, wearing number 21, Roberto Garza Nunez. Batting third, the second baseman, number 29, Drew Berrigan. Batting fourth, the first baseman, wearing number 19, Jack Nielsen. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 24, Bula White. Batting sixth, the shortstop, wearing number 10, Elijah Henning. Batting seventh, the catcher, wearing number 8, Taylor Knight. Batting eighth, the center fielder, wearing number 5, Zach Morris. Batting ninth, playing left field, wearing number 17, is Calvin Soley. The starting pitcher for the Flagstaff Star Chasers is number 12, Derek Atkinson. And the rest of the Flagstaff Star Chasers were head coached by Mr. Dave Deutschman. He is assisted by Mr. Corey Russell, and the general manager is Mr. Randy Barber. This game's umpiring crew is as follows. Behind the dish at home plate is Mr. Dan Angelo. At first base is Mr. Dwayne Clements. At third base is Mr. David Noah. Now let's meet the defensive starters for your Alaska Goldpanners. Playing in right field, wearing the number 25, Brock Kless. Playing center field, wearing number 8, Dominic Hughes. Playing left field, wearing number 12, Griffin Harrison. Playing third base from North Pole, Alaska, number 11, Alex Garcia. Playing shortstop, wearing number 6, Tate Shamau. Playing second base, wearing number 4, Matthew Pennell. Playing first base, wearing the number 35, Cole Alexander. Catching for your Alaska Goldpanners is number 17, Isaac Shuck. And your starting pitcher for your Alaska Goldpanners is number 13, RJ Aranda. The designated hitter for this game is number 29, Brock Rudy. And the rest of your Alaska Goldpanners, who are field managed by Mark Lindsay, Ryan Hansen, Jake Taylor, and Marcus Mastroboni. All right, baseball fans, this is the last home game of this season. I want you to yell out play ball as loud as you can on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Play ball indeed.
Last time here at Growden Memorial Park in Fairbanks, Alaska. Garrow Von Dane here. One final game between the Goldpanners and Flagstaff Star Chasers. Panners took game 1 earlier today by a 9-1 final. Excellent effort for Garrett Maloney. 6 innings, 1 run on 4 hits. And then Ethan Remmers finished it off with a scoreless 7th inning.
Also, if you haven't gotten your face painted by
Blake Haraki continues to swing a hot bat. He went 2 for 2, 3 runs batted in, a couple of runs scored. Milliken went 3 for 4 in that game.
Kids, even adults.
The Panners win their 10th straight here at home.
The beer and wine garden. I see you.
Goldpanners have won 25 games here at Growden this summer. And we'll hit the road late tomorrow night. Fly down to Salt Lake City
for game 2
and play our first game on Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time against the Idaho Catch at the Gates World Series. Be fun to get down there. Sad to say goodbye to our friends here in Fairbanks, but you can follow along on PannerVision from Salt Lake City, Utah, in the Beehive State. Your pitching matchup For the Goldpanners, it's R.J. Aranda, and for the Star Chasers, it's Derek Atkinson. R.J. Aranda, sophomore from Chico State. He will be at Cal State East Bay this upcoming season. Joined us on PannerVision in Game 1. He and Tate Shamau came up to the box to chat for a little bit. We also had Jeff Olson, sports editor for the Fairbanks Daily News Miner, as he talked about going to Salt Lake and covering the Panners. The 2-ball pitch misses inside to T.C. Strickler. It'll be Strickler, then Roberto Garza Nunez. Drew Berrigan will bat third. Jack Nielsen in the cleanup spot. 3-1 on Strickler. Bula White, the designated hitter, batting fifth. Elijah Henning in the sixth spot. Taylor Knight batting seventh. Zach Morris eighth, and Calvin Soley batting ninth. And this one's up the middle and through for a base hit. Strickler leads off the game with a single. The Star Chasers were held to just
Star Chasers, number 21,
4
Roberto
hits
Garza
in Game 1.
Nunez.
They were held to 5 hits last night. They get a base hit right out of the gates here in the final game of the series. Panners have taken the first 5, trying to sweep the 6-game set after sweeping 5 from the San Francisco Seals. Aranda's pitch is grounded up the middle. Shamau's able to get there. A flip to second. They get the out there. Tough play for Shamau, but he gets it done. He's getting the start at short. Play goes 6-4 on the putout. Garza Nunez reaches on the fielder's choice, brings up
number 29, Drew Berrigan.
Drew Berrigan. Goldpanner defense here in Game 2. Isaac Shook catching for Aranda. Cole Alexander at first base. Matthew Pinal at second. Tate Shamau at short. Alex Garcia, another start at third. And in the outfield, it's Harrison in left, Hughes in center, and Kless is in right. Another day off for Rimmer, resting some bumps and bruises.
That foul ball brought to you by Foundation Health Partners.
Berrigan with a runner at first and 1 out here in the top of the first. Another 7-inning game for you. Last PannerVision broadcast from Growden. Swing and a miss. Berrigan strikes out for the second out of the inning.
Now up to bat for the Star Chasers, number 19.
Another great
Jack
summer here
Nielsen.
in Fairbanks coming to an end. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, the players have had a great time. And so have we. Jack Nielsen, the batter, with a runner at first, 2 away. And a swing and a miss. Henry Cole is going to join us later in the broadcast to chat a little bit. Just another one of the behind-the-scenes key members of this Goldpanners organization. There are many that do so much that you never hear about. Unless you're here. If you're in Fairbanks, you know all about all the people behind the Goldpanners. Some of them too shy to come on the broadcast, but not all of them. Nielsen takes a ball inside. It's 2-1 from Aranda. 5'9" left-hander from Oxnard, California. And it's chopped foul. Leadoff single by Strickler. And now there are 2 outs with a runner at first. Nielsen, the batter, against Aranda with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. First game went pretty quick, just over 2 hours. It's been a pretty one-sided series. Last night was a great game, though, between these two. Panners winning 3-2 in front of a huge crowd on the final Friday night of the summer here at Growden. The 3-2 pitch to Nielsen. And a broken bat foul ball down the left field line. And a
Sounds
new
like we have some
piece of
broken
lumber
hardware
for
down
Nielsen.
there. That foul ball brought to you by Bigfoot Pumping and Thawing.
Head coach Mark Lindsay comes out to bring some fresh baseballs to the home plate umpire. Mark Lindsay is first year as field manager, second year as a coach on this Panner staff. Not to start looking ahead too much, but you can't help but wonder from year to year who will be back. 5 Goldpanners made a return this summer.
Hey, Chris. Huh? Can you tell Garo that Beulah White is 22?
Beulah White is 22?
Yeah, Beulah White.
Beulah White, got it.
Roller towards third. Garcia charging, scooping, and throwing, and getting the out. No harm done after the leadoff single. Goldpanners coming to bat scoreless here in Fairbanks.
Dominic Hughes.
Dom Hughes to lead it off for the Goldpanners in the bottom of the first inning. Garo Von Dane welcoming you back to Growden Memorial Park, home of the Goldpanners since August of 1961. Program began in 1960 under founder Red Boucher, then taken over by Don Dennis from 64 to 2011 and on. And now John Lorkey, the general manager, here in 2022. Panners an all-time winning percentage around 70%. We've got another big Midnight Sun game win earlier this summer. And Hughes lines this one to center field, a base hit. Sophomore from Kansas State gives the Goldpanners a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless game. Tate Shamau will step to the plate. Brock Rudy is the designated hitter, batting third. Matthew Pennall in the cleanup spot. Cole Alexander batting fifth. Isaac Shook batting sixth. Brock Klez in the seventh spot. Griffin Harrison eighth. And Alex Garcia batting in ninth. Tate was a colorful guest to have in game one. And he floats this one down the right field line, but it's slicing foul.
That foul ball brought to you by State Farm Insurance.
He'll be at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Said it'll be just like Fairbanks, big baseball town. Down and away from Derek Atkinson, a right-handed starting pitcher. For the Flagstaff Star Chasers. One hopper to short, second for one. And they get Shamau too on a 6-4-3 double play. Brings up Brock Rudy with 2 outs and the base is empty.
Now up to bat for your Goldpanners, number 29.
I see Stacy Josie wandering around the park. One of the unsung heroes of this program. Man, oh man, a huge part of this Goldpanner baseball organization and the resurgence. And she's here for every game, greeting a lot of people as they come in, but so much behind the scenes work. Anybody associated with the organization knows how vital Stacy is to this program. Swing and a miss. I can't go too far into it because she gets really embarrassed. Rudy grounds one to second. Berrigan will throw on to first, and down go the Goldpanners here in the first inning. Scoreless after one here at Growden.
Park.
Way down the line, it's a fair ball. Caught by Clark. Runner tags from third. Here's the throw, and he's out at the plate. Inning over. Peyton can't believe it. Neither can Armando Gomez, who runs down the line to make his feelings known with umpire Dwayne Clemens. 3-2 on Shamau. And he hammers this one to left center. On the run, it's out of the reach of the center fielder Moore. And Harrison jogs in to score. It's 5-0 Panners. Hughes comes around third. He will score. And Tate Shamau with a 2-run double. Line to right, a base hit for Rudy. Make it a 16-game hitting streak. Ball is bobbled in right, and Rudy takes the opportunity to get to second and does. And it's grounded right side and through for a base hit. Oh, wow, what a great stop by Garcia. No chance to make a throw out of the wet grass. Well, I can't believe he was able to get to that baseball. Blake Hiraki's been on base all 4 times and make it 5 as he lines one to left for a base hit. Third. Call your friends to have them turn into PannerVision on YouTube. It's our final game from Growden Memorial Park. And Bula White lines the first pitch of the second inning into right field for a base hit. Leadoff single for Bula White. Strickler led off the first inning with a single, but nobody got past first base in that inning. We're scoreless in the top of the second. Here's Elijah Henning facing R.J. Aranda. R.J.'s getting the start here in the final home game. It is a hot afternoon here in Fairbanks. It's supposed to rain all next week, so we'll be getting out of town just in time. It's about time to turn into fall here. Colder temperatures just around the corner. Gets a little wetter, a little darker.
That foul ball brought to you by the Gold
Before long, the leaves start to fall.
Wash your worries away, one pan at a time.
By September 1st, a lot of leaves are changing. Got to drive all the way through Canada into Alaska in early September a few years ago. It was unbelievably gorgeous. The Yukon Territory with all the changing colors and leaves.
Now up to bat for the Star Chasers, number 8,
One of the most
Taylor
amazing drives
Knight.
I've ever made. Single for Henning puts 2 on with nobody out here in the second inning. Already 3 hits for the Star Chasers. They had only 4 in game 1. And here's Taylor Knight with 2 aboard. Star Chasers hoping to salvage 1 game out of this 6-game series. Swung on a popped high and out of play.
Heads up here, Garden. That foul ball brought to you by Teamsters.
Our next broadcast will be from Salt Lake City, Utah at Gates Field. A relatively new, beautiful ballpark in Kearns, Utah. And this one is hit high and deep to right, going back in front of the warning track. Kless makes the catch. White will tag from second and go to third. But Knight is out number 1. Now runners at the corners for Zach Morris out of Chico State.
Now up to bat for the Star Chasers, number 5, Zach Morris.
Panners in their black tops. The Alaska snow-capped letters across the front. Star Chasers going with their yellow t-shirt tops. This is the final game of the season for Flagstaff. They did a great job just keeping things together while the league disintegrated early in the season. Had to kind of put together a schedule on the fly. Had a lot of off time. But credit to General Manager Randy Barber and Head Coach David Deutschman for being able to put this trip together.
That foul ball brought to you by First National Bank, Alaska.
We actually had a pretty good contingent here on this team, which was great after the Seals had 11 guys. Hard hit ball down the right field line, but it's hooking foul.
That foul ball brought to you by Usabelli Coal Mine.
Morris the batter with runners at the corners as the Star Chasers try to get on the board first. Held to 1 run in game 1. The 1-2. Check swing. He did not go.
Nope.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Grounded right side and a tumbling stop by Pinal. It makes a great throw to first base to get the out there. Run will score as White comes home. And what a play for Pinal.
Now up to bat for the Star Chasers, number 17.
Well, it goes 4-3 on the putout,
Calvin
give Morris an RBI. And it's 1-0 Flagstaff for Calvin Soley in the 9th spot. Outfielder from Embry-Riddle University, 6'1" sophomore. Got to give props to Andrew Bunton, too, our public address man here all year long. His first complete season here as the PA man for the Goldpanners. People often will talk to me after the games, telling me how they enjoy my work, and they're actually referring to Andrew. They just see me come out of the press box. You must be the guy. Nope, I'm the other guy. The 0-2 is grounded right side to Pinal. throws on to first to get the final outs. Chasers pick up a run on 2 base hits. They lead it 1-0 after 1.5.
All right, we're going to be
La Chona plays Matthew Pinal into his first at-bat of this game. Pinal leading off the bottom of the second inning. The Panners trailing 1-0 as the Star Chasers get a run in the top of the second. RBI ground out for Morris to score Bula White. Pinal, Alexander, and Shook do up here in the second inning.
Heads up
Everyone's
over
popped
there,
into the
heads up.
stands. A lot of giveaways here at the park today between
foul ball brought to you by Ringstead Law Office.
pretty much every inning. Everything from old Panner programs and yearbooks to season tickets, autographed jerseys. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Season never ends for a lot of the staff here, including General Manager John Lorkey, who's already working on next year's schedule. I have not been able to confirm any of the opponents yet, but
Denali State Bank.
some familiar names being thrown around. Alaska League playoff system was kind of scrapped this year. Instead of their playoff format, they switched to just one semifinal game and then one championship game. So the fourth place team, the Peninsula Oilers, you know, they can knock off the team that has led the league all summer. You just got to show up in one game. Glacier Pilots finished first, the Matsu Miners second. The Chugiak Chinooks finished fifth, and they do not go to the playoffs, finishing last. And Chris Beck, who has run that program since the beginning, is leaving. So that would seem to make the future for the Chinooks very much,
by Jolly Roger.
I don't want to say in doubt, but a gigantic question mark. They're part of Athletes in Action, Christian-based organization. And the players pay a lot of money to play for that team. I think they only won 6 games this year. But it's been a family affair for Chris Beck and his big family down there running that program, and losing them is going to be tough to replace. That one is lined into left center field by Pennall. Leadoff single for Matthew. Second hit of the game for the Goldpanners. And brings up Cole Alexander.
Now up to bat for your Goldpanners, number 35, Cole Alexander.
There's always, I bring up the Alaska League because it's always talked about the Goldpanners rejoining the league. But you never know. Has to make sense to the Goldpanners organization and to the league as well. Ball and no strikes to Alexander from Atkinson. Train is really chewing over there. Over at Alaska Land, or Pioneer Park as it's now called. Lined foul off the netting above the Goldpanner
That
dugout.
ball brought to you by Tommy G's Meat and Sausage.
Shook is in the on-deck circle. There's a runner at first base with nobody out. Another 7-inning game for you here on PannerVision. Chasers came close last night, ultimately falling 3-2 in a great game in front of a huge, pretty much a send-off crowd on the final Friday night here in Fairbanks. The fair is going on right now, too. A lot of people naturally are taking in the fair. So there's a chopper over the mound, charging it. Shortstop Henning, who throws on to first. For the 6-3 putout, Pennall goes to second base.
Now up to bat for your Goldpanners, number 17, Isaac Shuck.
Goldpanner catcher Shook. Batting with a runner in scoring position. Isaac's got a chance to tie this game here in the second. Junior from Francis Marion from Reno, Nevada. Swing and a miss. And I look around the audience and see so many faces that have been here for, if not every game this summer, just about. Everybody will go through withdrawal after the season. And then we'll start looking ahead to 2023. Panners will head to Salt Lake City for the Gates World Series. Championship game is next Sunday. I think that game starts at 11 a.m. And then Panner players will leave from there. They will not be coming back to Alaska. And that one is through the legs of the catcher Knight, and so Pennall jogs to third base. Pass ball. Charged to Taylor Knight, the catcher from Bluefield College. Isaac will stand in with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Now can drive Pennall in with just one out with a fly ball. Up and in, 2-2 from Atkinson. The 2-2 to Shook. Off the end of the bat towards second, this will score the run, and we are tied at 1 as Pinal comes in to touch home. RBI 4-3 ground out for Isaac Shook. And that'll bring up Brock Kless with 2 away, and now the bases empty.
Now up to bat for your Goldpanners, number 25, Brock Kless.
Goldpanner outfielder Brock Kless from UC San Diego. Had a 1-for-2 game 1, but scored 2 runs and drove in another. Walked twice.
Foul ball brought to you by
Talking about
Alaska
behind-the-scenes Goldpanners, you all know who Chris Carlson is, running PannerVision and engineering and producing. But that is far from the only thing Chris does here. Expert sign hanger, construction projects. There's a lot of days when I show up to the field in the evening, and Chris has been here since 8 in the morning. Yeah. And he also does something else that probably many of you have figured out in the middle of the 7th innings generally and middle of the 5th inning today. He's taking grounders during the day. Swing and a miss, and Kless strikes out for the final out here, the second. We'll go to the third.
Right,
it's
fans,
a 1-1 ball game.
Prizes.
Travis T.C. Strickler leading off for the top of the 3rd inning. Flagstaff Star Chasers had a 1-0 lead. Panners answered back with one of their own in the 2nd inning, and now we're tied. 3rd of 7 innings here in the home finale at Growden Memorial Park. Warm day here in Fairbanks. Nice day for a cold beverage in the sun on a Saturday afternoon. No wind to speak of. Wouldn't mind a little bit of a breeze. Grounded right side by Strickler. Swallowed up by Pinal. And another 4-3 putout. That's 3 in a row. Induced by R.J. Aranda.
Star Chasers, number 21, Roberto Garza Nunez.
Roberto Garza Nunez. 0 for 1 so far in the game. Went 1 for 3 in game 1 earlier today. Panners winning 9-1. A game that took just over 2 hours. High fly ball in foul territory, right field side, and eludes all 3 Goldpanner fielders chasing after that ball.
That foul ball brought to you by Stewart Title.
Garza Nunez will be followed by Berrigan. Garrow Von Dane here at Growden. Burnley Garrett on cameras. Burnley completing his first full season as the top intern for Mr. Chris Carlson, and also the highest paid intern. $10. And it's behind Garza Nunez. And he's got a few years of eligibility left, so hopefully we'll have some continuity here in PannerVision. Burnley surviving a summer with the Goldpanners. That in and of itself is worthy of an award. Ground ball right side, again, a 4-3 putout. That's 4 in a row. So Pinalla getting some work over at second today, and brings up Drew Berrigan.
Now up to bat for the Star Chasers, number 29, Drew Berrigan.
He's got at least a hit in every game. Berrigan struck out in the first inning. Now bats with the bases empty in the top of the third. Star Chasers will leave tonight, as their season will be complete. Ground ball to, you guessed it, Matthew Pinall. 5 4-3 groundouts in a row. That's a weird thing. We're to the bottom of the third. It's a 1-1 game. Final game from Growden this summer until next June. Fans enjoying a warm afternoon here in Fairbanks.
Heads up.
Griffin Harrison pops that pitch up towards the beer garden. And 15 kids chase after the baseball. Always a lot of kids here.
That foul ball brought to you by Fairbanks Daily News Miner.
And they'll have to find something else to do after today. No more Panner baseball. Behind us, they're building a magnificent skate park that'll be ready for next summer. That's the problem here at Fairbanks. You can only build in the summer, so this summer there's been no skate park because they tore down the old one and are hoping to finish off this new one before the weather gets too cold. Lined into right center field by Harrison. This one's going to go all the way to one hop the wall. Harrison on his way to second, and he gets there with a stand-up double here in the bottom of the third inning. Griffin Harrison. Well, bring up Alex Garcia.
Now up to that for your
Another one of the local
Goldpanners,
players,
number
Garcia
11,
from North
Alex
Pole, Alaska.
Garcia.
Plays at Butte College under former Goldpanner head coach Anthony Farrow. Andrew Trotman, Fairbanks native, will not be making the trip to Salt Lake City. I talked to him between games. He's unable to go. Panners will have to find a way to replace him and the many solid innings he has provided this summer. I don't remember the last time two local players played such big roles for a Goldpanner team. And not only do we have them, but we also have the two military pitchers stationed at Fort Wainwright. Raymond Padilla, who's a captain in the Army, and Logan Smith. Garcia with a 1-ball, 1-strike count against Atkinson. With Harrison at second base, nobody out here in the bottom of the third of a 1-1 game.
Bruh.
I texted my friend Ken Hoka, former pitching coach with the Goldpanners. He is the head coach for the Anchorage Bucks, to ask him about why the league playoffs were shuffled around. He said simply too much to text. Pop back and out of play.
That foul ball.
They're supposed to have
by
actual
Sammy Kane.
playoff series. But now it's single elimination, semifinals and a championship game. Ball and 2 strikes. And that one's thrown to the backstop. Over to third base goes Harrison. 90 feet away from giving the Goldpanners the lead. That's Ryan Hansen over there coaching at third. Took a new job with Loyola in New Orleans. Swing and a miss. Garcia strikes out for the first out of the inning. And we'll go to the top of the order for Dominic Hughes. Dom Hughes.
Back to the top of the lineup for your Goldpanners.
We'll look back at Kansas State this year, where he plays under his father, the Wildcats. Hughes has been hot lately. 15. Gonna make that 16 for his last 33. It's almost 500 over that span. And in that span, 14 RBIs and 13 runs. Very productive. Offensively here in July. Singled back in the first inning. He's got a chance to bring in Harrison. The infield is drawn in with one out, and he fouls that one back to the fence.
That foul ball brought to you by Hometown Physical Therapy.
A right-hander getting loose in the bullpen for the Goldpanners. Looks like Caden Hogan. Swing and a miss. Hughes in the hole here, 0-2 against Derek Atkinson. Harrison led off the inning with a double. Went to third on a wild pitch. Garcia struck out for the first out. And now Hughes trying to bring him in with Shamau on deck. 62nd season of Goldpanner baseball. He's been on PannerVision since 2001. And this here, the 20th anniversary of the last national championship team. That's fouled off the foot of Hughes. Panners winning the NBC title in Wichita 20 years ago. Defeating the arch rival Anchorage Glacier Pilots in the championship game. There was talk of having some type of 20th anniversary gathering up here, but it's really hard to make it happen, to get everybody up to Alaska. And that one is hit down the right field line, but it's foul.
That foul ball brought to you by Kinross.
I mean, it's a big undertaking to come up here. And boy, after COVID wiped out a lot of tourism here for a couple years, prices this summer, well, they're trying to make up for lost time. And boy, just general travel's been very difficult over the past year with flight cancellations left and right. Dom Hughes with a runner at third, trying to give the Goldpanners the lead. Time called once again. Caden Clark's coaching over at first right now. Jake Taylor getting a break. Infield still in with a runner at third and one out. And a 1-2 count. Pitch coming to Hughes. Fouls it towards the Flagstaff dugout. A lot of time between pitches here for Atkinson. And Hughes will dig back in. Again, Tate Shimau is in the on-deck circle. Hughes, another 1-2, and he takes ball too low. The 2-2 to Hughes, and he pops this one back and out of play.
That foul ball.
Long at bat here for Dom, fighting.
The Glass Doctor specializes in fixing.
Stay alive here against Atkinson and try to bring that run in from third. Panners have a leadoff hit in each inning so far. And the 2-2. Outside for ball 3. Meanwhile, R.J. Aranda on the other side has allowed just one run through 3 innings, and he has retired 6 in a row, the last 5 by 4-3 groundout. 10th pitch of the at-bat. And with the infield in, here's the payoff. Popped up, playable for Garza Nunez in the third base box, and he will make the catch, and a long at bat for Hughes comes to an end. And that'll bring up Tate Shimau. Well, Panners had a runner at third with
Panners, number 6, Tate Shimau.
nobody out. Now there are 2 outs, and Harrison's still over there at third base. Shamau grounded into a 6-4-3 double play back in the first. Taps this one foul. Some more people showed up here for game 2. Last chance to catch this Goldpanner team here in Fairbanks until next June. Who will the opening day opponent be? It was fun last offseason. Mark Lindsay was texting me all offseason. I got this guy coming, that guy coming. It's a lot of work. Put a lot of time into it. And it's difficult too. You know, you spend all that time recruiting, and then like this year, lost a bunch of guys right in the last couple weeks before the season started. So a bunch of pitchers dropped off. One put his hand through a wall and broke it. I mean, that's frustrating. After you spend all year putting a team together, you have your spots accounted for, and then bam, last second, guys can't make it. This one is lined to right, and coming in to make the catch is Morris. Panner strand a runner at third base.
Got some more door prizes to give away.
We played 3 complete from Growden. We are tied at 1, Goldpanners and Star Chasers. Growden Memorial Park opened back on August 7th, 1961. Before that, the Panners played downtown. Floods nearly destroyed this park in '67. The Chena River flooded all of Fairbanks.
Jack Nielsen.
This turf was installed in 1985. Press box has been here since '67. It's got a nice little wobble to it. Line to left. And right there, it's Harrison to make the catch for out number 1 as Nielsen is retired quickly. So that breaks a stretch of 5 straight 4-3 groundouts induced by R.J. Aranda.
Now to bat for the Star Chasers, number 22.
R.J. just 1 run allowed on 3 hits through 3 1/3. Well, after this half inning, Henry Cole's going to join us. He runs the point streak and does a lot more, and we'll talk about that when Henry joins us when we go to the bottom of the 4th. Grounded right side, and Alexander will take it himself to retire Bula White. 3 unassisted, quickly 2 up and 2 down. In the top of the 4th as we approach the midway point of this final game of the season here at Growden. Elijah Henning singled in the 2nd inning. Shortstop from Southwestern Oregon. Strike called from Aranda. This is just the third start for RJ this summer, his 9th appearance. That one is hit towards third. Garcia crossed the diamond, but not in time. An infield hit for Henning. And he's 2 for 2, and that keeps the inning alive for Taylor Knight. Aranda in 18 innings prior to today.
Star Chasers, number 5.
8 earned runs on 22 hits. 13 Ks, 10 walks.
Now up to bat is number 8, Taylor Knight.
An ERA of 4. We're putting up some good numbers here today. As he gets the honor of starting the final home game of the summer. Lined up the middle and through for a base hit for Taylor Knight. Back-to-back hits after the second out was recorded. The Star Chasers in a 1-1 game.
Now up to bat
looking to get back on top.
Number 5, Zach Morris.
Zach Morris set an RBI ground out in the second inning to give the Chasers a 1-0 lead. Panners answered back with one of their own. RBI ground out for Isaac Shook to score Matthew Pinal. Two outs and 2 aboard. 5 hits now for Flagstaff. And Aranda with the 1-strike pitch to Morris. Strike called. Zach didn't like it. It's 0-2. Two on, 2 outs, and an 0-2 pitch from Aranda to Morris, and he takes outside for ball 1. Good stop by Isaac Shook, Goldpanner catcher. Shook and Hiraki splitting the duties basically evenly since Rafael Flores signed with the Yankees a few weeks ago, right after the draft. And the 1-2 from Aranda. This one's hit into right for a base hit. Henning will be waved around third. Here comes the throw from Kless. Ball is, almost got there in time. Henning scores ahead of the throw. And the Star Chasers take a 2-1 lead with 3 consecutive hits after 2 outs were recorded.
Number 17, Calvin Soley.
RBI single for Morris. And over to third goes Knight on the play. The Chasers back in front here, 2-1. Calvin Soley in the 9 spot now. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Garrow Von Dane here at Growden. Henry Cole joining us when we go to the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss. And RJ jumps in front of him, 0-2. RJ throwing strikes. O2 is upstairs for ball 1. And the 1-2 is fouled off first base side.
That foul ball brought to you by Downs Tellerico.
Solely grounded out to second base in the second inning against RJ Aranda. Caden Hogan was throwing in the pen earlier, is not now. And it's just a bit outside. If you don't already, follow the Goldpanners social media sites. They'll be active on the trip to Utah. That one's floated into shallow right field. It's going to drop for a base hit for Soley. He brings in another run as Knight scores. And over to third goes Morris. RBI single for Calvin Soley. 4 straight hits after RJ took care of the first
Back
two
to the
batters
top
of the inning.
lineup for the Star Chasers.
All
Number
singles.
11, Travis Strickler.
It started with the infield hit by Henning. And now the top of the order, T.C. Strickler, who's 1 for 2 in the game. And it's ducking out of the way of it is Strickler. He's 1 for 2. A 2-run inning so far for the Star Chasers have them in front here 3-1. RJ takes a little off of it, gets the strike call 1-1. He's had 2 strikes on a bunch of these hitters too. Good pitch, 1-2. And again with 2 strikes, now on Strickler. The runners at the corners and 2 away, and the 1-2 from Aranda. Shook sets up outside, and the pitch goes behind the left-handed hitter. Shook gets to the baseball as the runner tries to score, and he's out at the plate. Morris can't believe it. He thinks he got his foot under the tag. That ball carried back off the wall, and Shook took it right to the plate. Morris still arguing the call and can't believe it. But the Star Chasers pick up 2. They take a 3-1 lead after 3.5. Brock Rudy leads off for the Goldpanners. Captain Rudy. He's the designated hitter here in Game 2. Rudy, Pinal, and Alexander, 3, 4, and 5 spots in the Panner batting order. Goldpanners are trailing now as the Star Chasers pick up 2 in the top of the 4th. And joined now by Henry Cole. Henry, I've been talking today about a lot of the people that a little more behind the scenes here with the Goldpanners, and tell our viewers what you get yourself into here.
Oh, a little bit of everything. I guess most visibly, I'm sitting just around or on the other side of the wall here to your left most of the time, keeping score, keeping the official statistics online, and trying to push things out on Twitter and to our other social media platforms, and get information out to the media and stuff like that. Like Jeff, the newsminder guy you chatted with earlier today. And then kind of at a higher level away from the park, I'm the team secretary. And so that means everything from kind of being the parliamentarian during board meetings, and if we need to write an official letter to someone or that kind of thing, usually I'll work with John, the GM, and we'll cooperate on things like that. And then my day job is I'm a civil engineer, so occasionally we need some engineering support. Like, for example, the guy wires on one of the light towers were taken down a little over a year ago by getting run into by a piece of bleachers. So I worked with a local engineering firm to get that put back together. And I guess the best way to sum it all up is a little bit of everything.
Which, yeah, a lot of people wind up doing here. Is this a ground ball to the right side? Rudy, very few people have one role here. As Rudy grounds out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. Team Secretary Henry Cole joining me here on PannerVision. So, we haven't reached the off-season yet, but we're not far from it. What are going to be some of the big topics in the off-season at the board meetings?
Well, the biggest one will be probably the construction projects we've got planned for the next year and change. We are hoping to have a new scoreboard installed next year. Whether that'll be in time for the season or not is there's a bunch of unknowns around that. And then we're also working with the borough to get the field returfed. The AstroTurf and I guess AstroDirt, if you will, are kind of beloved features of Growden, but they're definitely showing it's definitely showing its age. Anyone who's played more than a game or so of middle infield here will tell you that the hops off of where the AstroDirt meets the real dirt, or the AstroDirt meets the grass, are some nasty bad hops off of those two transitions.
We saw a couple of base hits last night that went off those transitions, one for each team.
Yeah.
2-1 on Pinal here with one out and the bases empty against Atkinson. The Star Chasers in front 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth. Henry Cole, team secretary and Point Street guy here on the broadcast. So scoreboard, turf. I love this turf.
I love it too.
I don't have to play on it, but I love it. I've also always loved the colors, the unique color scheme of this turf here with the green and gold. And there can't be another one on planet Earth right now.
I've never seen one like it. There's some places that have the AstroDirt or whatever you should call it, but it's not quite the same, and it's a real fixture of Fairbanks. And so actually, as part of the turf replacement project, we're going to save some pieces. We're going to save the letters. We're going to cut out around them, and then we're going to try and as a fundraiser, either just sell off like 1 square foot pieces, or if people want a bigger piece to maybe turf in their patio or their porch or something like that, they can get us their dimensions. And if they want gold or green or maybe a coach's box or something, when we have our new turf, we'll see how we can go about getting that to them. So
Pinal strikes out for the second out of the inning, brings up Cole Alexander. So scoreboard, some turf. And then there's always the usual business affairs that go on and have to be sorted out. But are you guys going to take a break after the season or right back into it?
Oh, we're for sure going to take a break. Our board meetings are normally once a month, but in the summer, the normal meeting time is basically during games, so we can't really meet there. A good number of the directors are usually here at the park on game day. Stacy, for example, or Ski, not to mention John, so we tend to be pretty busy. And unless there's any urgent business that comes up, we probably won't have an August meeting either. We'll pick things up in September. But even PannerVision aside, or needing a break from PannerVision aside, everyone's got to kind of get back to their day jobs a little bit. And for some of us, myself included, that means getting back to road construction and field engineering.
All right, baseball fans.
Liner to left.
Few more door prizes
for out number 3 off the bat of Alexander. A 1-2-3 inning for Atkinson. That's a big inning after the Chasers pick up 2. So we'll head to the 5th inning here at Growden. It's 3-1 Flagstaff in front. More with Henry Cole when we return. New pitcher into the game for the Goldpanners, and it's number 14, Caden Hogan. So RJ Aranda departs after 4, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits. And Caden Hogan, the junior from UC Davis, out of Sparks, Nevada. He actually has 3 years of eligibility left. He's had some injuries, redshirt seasons. And Caden Hogan has been a good Goldpanner. This is his 2nd year. He was a shortstop last year. This year, strictly a pitcher. Just arrived recently here to Fairbanks, was still rehabbing some injuries. He faces the top of the order here, T.C. Strickler, and then Roberto Garza Nunez and Drew Berrigan here in the top of the 5th with these Chasers leading 3-1. Henry Cole, team secretary, joining me here on the broadcast. And Henry, you're born and raised here, right?
Not born, but we moved here when I was a little kid. We moved to Anchorage from Seattle when I was 1.5, and then to here from Anchorage when I was 5. And so, got it. Good play.
Yeah, hey, Hogan got there just in time to field the throw from Alexander, a 3-1 put out of Strickler.
You could see the shortstop in him getting over there
to
make that play.
Star Chasers, number 21.
But yeah, since moving here in the late '80s, we came to a ton of these games, Panner games, with my dad and my parents, and then dad and family. And I was just saying during the break to Giro that I actually caught a foul ball that ricocheted off of one of the light towers, and our seats are in the top far back corner of the third base bleachers. And foul liner ricocheted off the tower, hit the bleacher right in front of me, and would have hit me in the face. I just kind of threw up my hands to protect myself.
Heads up,
there it was.
Heads up.
Do you have some favorite players that you remember watching when you were a kid?
Jason Lane.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, Michael Young was another one.
Yep.
I think my favorite Panner player of all time has to be Danny Boone.
Popped tight on the right field line and out of the reach of Kless.
Danny Boone was the kind of former major leaguer and then once again major leaguer, and played for the Panners and I think the Glacier Pilots before.
I think you're right about that.
And then in the majors, he pitched for the Padres and possibly another team. And then he came back and was kind of the pitching coach and a occasional relief pitcher for a few years in a row. And he threw a knuckleball, and Little League Henry wasn't all that great of a pitcher, but then Danny Boone helped me learn the knuckleball, and that was not a lot of little leaguers know what to do with one of those.
Oh, that's for sure. I used to work on that one too a lot. Liner to center field by Garza Nunez for out number 2. Drew Berrigan 0 for 2, facing Caden Hogan, swings and misses for strike 1. After this inning, Henry's going to take over for a short while. I have to run and take care of something else. And Henry, Goldpanner team secretary, and growing up here in Fairbanks and watching this Panner team all these years. Ground ball to short, Shamau. A 6-3 put out, a 1-2-3 inning for Caden Hogan. Hey, it's your last chance to get happy, everybody. Keep it right here. And then Henry Cole takes over for a little bit. Goldpanners trailing 3-1 in the middle of the 5th.
Get up, stretch your legs, get your kazoos out. Oh, who is this?
I was walking down the street on a sunny day.
Hubba, 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 hubba.
A feeling in my bones, so I have my way.
Hubba, 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 hubba.
Oh, I'm a happy boy.
Happy boy.
I'm a happy boy. Oh, isn't it good when things are going your way? Hey, hey. You know, my little dog Spot got hit by a car.
Hubba, 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 hubba.
Put his guts in a box and put him in a drawer.
Hubba, 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 hubba.
Well, I'm a happy boy.
Happy
Oh,
boy.
I'm a happy boy. Oh, ain't it good when things are going your way? Hey, hey. I forgot all about it for a month and a half.
Hubba, 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 hubba.
I looked in the drawer and started to laugh. Cause I'm a happy boy.
Happy boy.
I'm a happy boy. Oh, ain't it good when things are going on your way.
Hey, hey. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Happy Boy and all the kids that came to dance with him, including Peanut Man. And also
All right, welcome back to Growden
now
Park.
to
This
bat for your
is
goaltenders. Number 17,
Henry Cole, as
Isaac
Giro
Schuck.
mentioned, filling in for Giro. He has to take care of some errands here, so I'll be filling in for a few minutes. Isaac Schuck, the catcher, leading off against Derek Atkinson of the Star Chasers. Takes called strike one. The other, one of the other things that growing up here, I have one super clear memory that probably a lot of people do, but fouled back, 0-2.
That foul ball brought to you by the Gold Daughters.
Panners had center fielder Jacques
Discover
Jones
gold, ice age fossils,
maybe
and
95,
gemstones at your
96,
local gold
something like
mine
that.
out in Fox.
And there was a towering fly ball to right center, and Jones goes sprinting back. And anyone who remembers his major league career with the Twins, I think he was a speed first outfielder, and he's moving quite quickly, collides dead run into the outfield wall, somehow making the catch, falls over, rolls around, gets back up, and then a second after that, the Teamsters Union sign that was on the wall in about the same location it is now in the right center field corner falls down. And so needless to say, the game was interrupted for a few minutes until the ground scoop could take care of that. Schuck chops one onto the right side, and that's a 4-3 put out.
Now up to bat for your gold
That'll bring up Brock Kless, right fielder.
Number 25, Brock Kless.
Yeah, the half of a Teamsters Union sign was on the wall for several weeks. In fact, probably the rest of the season. I don't think it was until the following year that the sign was replaced in full. And then for years after that, the missing piece, I guess, was laying in the left field bullpen. It's kind of by itself, all forlorn. And that was before those were the plywood sign era. That was before the new vinyl signs. This Kless takes ball one inside. So we won't have any more half signs falling apart. 1-0. Outside for ball two. Another thing a lot of longtime Panner Nation members and Fairbanks residents will recognize is the kind of unfinished nature of some of the parts of the field or the stadium here, including the massive concrete box that has no roof. Kless swings through that high fastball. And for years and years and years, there was a sign on a big old plywood sign on that said, "Please excuse our dust as we finish Phase 2 construction." And the joke was that
foul ball brought to you by
Phase 2 was in progress for
Alaska
10 or
Highway
15
Safety
years
Office.
before someone was like, "Hey, no, we're not going to finish this," and took the sign down. Atkinson's 2-2 pitch to Kless. Foul back to the screen. Kless is 0 for 1, coming into this at-bat with a strikeout in the second. Atkinson has pitched a real gem of a game thus far, scattering only 3 hits. And he hasn't walked anybody, hasn't given up any free passes, which is kind of unusual. There's a hit. Kless lines one to right center, and he's going to turn it first, and he'll be in at second with a sliding double, leaving his helmet on the base path, Willie Mays Hayes style. That'll bring up the left fielder, Griffin Harrison, for Fairbanks.
707, Brad.
Now up to bat for your
Harrison got the
Goldpanners,
previous
scoring
hit for the
12,
Panners at his double in the third.
Griffin.
He made it to, double in the third. He made it to third base on a wild pitch, but was left stranded there after the strikeout. Dom Hughes' really long at bat, leading to a pop up, and then Tate Chamow's fly out. But he stands in here with 1 out and a runner on second. Chance to get the Panners back in this. First pitch is fouled over to the beer
Heads up,
garden, off the pergola.
There's a reason why they built that little gazebo over there.
They're off the gazebo,
Because
yeah,
they
as
made it
Andrew
over there.
says.
That foul ball was sponsored by Big Daddy's Barbecue.
Chris Carlson, our normal PannerVision producer, actually did the construction work on that. So among his many talents is vertical construction, you might say. Well, 1 pitch is low, ball 1. That one is chopped foul on the left side. Well, as Giro had mentioned, though, the behind-the-scenes work here is basically never done. It's a continuous thing, and I think it always will be. Team runs heavily on volunteer staff, and there's a lot of people to thank that keep the operation running here, keep the lights on, so to speak. Pun intended, because we don't use the light towers these days, but they are all there. Harrison swings through that one, striking out. Now we'll bring up North Pole Zone Alex Garcia, who's playing third base right now. He's had a couple really good plays over there, including a long throw from deep in the hole that is just half a second too late to beat the runner. But it is a real team effort. Myself here, as Gira mentioned, doing scores, stats, and point streak and things like that on a game day basis. My wife, Shauna, is here as well. She is our typical scoreboard operator. That's a pretty full-time job as well, because you can't really just watch the game. You have to be in the game. Ski and his wife Janice. Oh, there's I'm getting lost track in my story here. As Garcia lines one to left, that'll bring in Kless, and Garcia is able to get to second on the throw. The Panners get one back here in the 5th.
Back to the top of the lineup for your Goldpanners. Number 8, Dominic Hughes.
That'll bring up the center fielder, Dom Hughes, and that'll also bring a visit to the mound from the Star Chasers skipper. They've got no one in the pen, so this is probably just to talk things over and see how they want to approach Hughes. His last at bat went to 10 pitches before he hit a foul pop up to third. But anyway, as I was saying, Ski and his wife Janice do the 50-50 every day. Ski's trying to get our attention here, it looks like.
All right, baseball
Abe,
fans,
the team
let's
president,
do the
frequently
50-50
works in the
drawing.
merchandise booth. Stacy,
All right, the winner of the
our
50-50
woman of
will
many
be
talents,
walking away
sometimes
with
called the flower lady,
$190.
does the flowers. She works in the ticket office.
If you
She
have
works
ticket
in a
number
lot of things.
007
Abe's wife, Fabienne.
08. Again, the ticket
We're giving away the 50-50 here.
entirety is 007.
Fabienne also works a lot in the ticket
048.
office,
You
helps
just
with the
won
merch, other things like
$190,
that.
and you can claim your cash over on the first
John, of
base
course,
side.
is always busy as
That's
the GM, kind of the
Again,
one
thank you
full-time
all for
employee we've
supporting
got as an
Fairbanks Lions
organization.
Club and your
Kari is
Alaska
always here,
Goldpanners.
frequently jumping in to help out when, for example, I or my wife Shauna can't be here to a game. I did mention my day job, so frequently there was some rain this summer, and you might have heard about washouts on the Richardson Highway, so I was pulled away to respond to that emergency for a couple of weeks. Kari and Danny Ronkin filled in, and so a big thank you to them. First pitch to Hughes is low for ball one. And then Chris, our producer, keeps PannerVision on the air, designed all this equipment here, and then he's also on the board. And occasionally he needs filling in for by Burnley here, as Chris's other hobby is hanging out with his dear friend Happy Boy. It's kind of like the Phillies' Tom Burgoyne in that regard, as Hughes lines one to second for the third out. But the Panthers do get one.
Right, we got
One run on
announcement
2
from
hits,
John.
one
Take
left
it away,
on,
John.
and
Actually, it's a
We'll go to the
series of
6th.
announcements because there's so many people to thank.
New pitcher into the game for the Goldpanners. Yep, it's Garrow back with you here. Thanks to Henry Cole for joining us and for taking over Full half an inning, and the Panners pick up a run in the bottom of the fifth, make it a 3-2 game. Happy Boy yields some more offense for the Goldpanners. Raymond Padilla into the game to pitch, the third pitcher for the Goldpanners. A graduate stationed at Fort Wainwright, a captain in the United States Armed Forces, 6 foot, 225-pound right-hander from Fontana, California. He's facing Jack Nielsen, Bula White, and Elijah Henning. 3-2, the Star Chasers in front here as we get late in the ball game. Just 2 innings left. We're only going 7 unless we go extra. Panners have taken the first 5 of this series, trying to finish off a sweep, but we'll need to get some more runs. Caden Hogan just one scoreless 1-2-3 inning. In his last appearance here at Growden. 3 balls and a strike to Nielsen, who's 0 for 2 in the game, and he hits that one foul left side.
That foul ball brought to you by the Gold Daughters. I ain't saying she's a goaltender.
So our press box crew, Andrew Button on PA,
with the Gold Daughters.
Chris Carlson engineering PannerVision, and Burnley Guerin here on cameras. Henry Cole, you just heard from, to my left doing point streak, and his wife Shauna runs the scoreboard. This one's popped up on our heads.
Heads up, heads up. Oh, that hit the
Bang.
roof. Heads up to the roof.
Then down below, we've talked about Stacy already, Stacy Josie, and Abe Siddall, team president, who runs the merch booth and provides smiles for every happy customer. Three balls and 2 strikes. We'll have to get General Manager John Loki on a broadcast down in Utah. Swing and a miss. Padilla strikes out Nielsen. Turned into a pretty good ball game here in the series finale, home finale.
Now up to bat for the Star Chasers.
Man, these seasons go so fast. I've been saying it every day, but it's so true. I was walking over here to the field today going, man, I can't believe it's the last time. And you never know what happens year to year. Ripped foul by Bula White, the big designated hitter for the Flagstaff Star Chasers, who almost picked up the win last night, ultimately falling 3-2 to the Goldpanners in a great game in front of a huge crowd. Now they got another chance here with a 3-2 lead in the top of the 6th. 0-2 on White. Swing and a miss, a 3-pitch strikeout of White after the strikeout of Nielsen.
Now up to bat for the Star Chasers, number 10,
Elijah Henning is having a 2-for-2 game. The Star Chasers out hitting the Goldpanners here 7-5. In the bottom of the 6th, it will be Shamau, Rudy, and Pinal due up. Good spot in the order for the Goldpanners to generate some offense. But then really, are there any weak spots in this Panner lineup? Lately, there have not been. The 1-1, up and in. Between now and the season opener next year, our next game, we'll have about 8 feet of snowfall here, maybe. I think that's about what it was last winter. And that one hits the batter Henning. So he's on base for the 3rd time in the game. And a 2-out base runner for Flagstaff. They did a bunch of their damage in the 4th inning after there were 2 outs.
Now up to bat for the
4
Star
straight
Chasers,
singles
number
brought
8,
in
Taylor
2 runs. Panners get 1 back in the bottom of the 5th. Happy Boy and the Mouse on the field, and a bunch of kids, and even Peanut Man was out there dancing. one of our season ticket holders here. Who crushes a lot of peanuts over in the beer garden. What were you thinking, Burnley?
I don't know.
You think he dressed like a peanut?
I guess so.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Taylor Knight, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Panners going for their 11th win in a row here. And that one hits Knight. Both were breaking balls on the hit batsman's. Seattle Studs won their opener in Wichita at the NBC World Series. So did the Santa Barbara Foresters. So did our old friends, the Hayes Larks.
For the Star Chasers, number 5, Zach Morris.
And we fully expect those 3 teams to be in championship week, and pretty good bet one of them will win it. Although Hayes has never won it. They have been the bridesmaid many, many times. The Hayes Larks from outside of Wichita.
Heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up. That foul ball brought to you by the Hawk Shop and Pond.
Studs and Foresters have both won NBC titles. Foresters have dominated the NBC in the last decade or so. Morris has knocked in 2 runs today. He was thrown out at the plate in the 4th inning to end the inning. Tried to score on a wild pitch. And that one's behind Morris to the backstop. In similar fashion to the play I was just talking about, it carried him back to home plate, and Shuck grabbed the baseball and tagged Morris out of the plate. Zach arguing it, saying he's got his foot in there safely, but he lost that battle. Morris batting this time, and now 2nd and 3rd. Way up and away for ball 4. So Ray Padilla started with back-to-back strikeouts.
Now up to bat for the
And
Star
2 hit
Chasers,
batsmen
number 17,
and a walk
Calvin Soul.
have loaded the bases with 2 outs. And a big opportunity here for the Star Chasers, who, as I mentioned, got 2 runs with 2 outs in the 4th. And we'll try to do some more damage here in the top of the 6th. Bases loaded. Calvin Soley 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Ooh. Close call, but it's ball 1. I had a rarity between innings. General Manager John Lorkey was sending out some thanks to everybody here in the press box, and then also to the Panner parents. That was lined to left, a base hit into left field. Scores 1, 2 runs, and it is a 5-2 lead for the Star Chasers, and they do it all with 2 outs, and Solely another base knock as he brings in 2.
Now up to bat for the Star
Both of those
Chasers,
runners that scored reached
Travis
base on
Strickler.
hit by pitch. That's the first hit of the inning. And a huge one for Calvin Soley as the Star Chasers try to salvage a game here in Fairbanks in their last game of the season. Time is called before Padilla can work to the top of the order hitter, T.C. Strickler. Well, the Panners have a bunch of come-from-behind wins this year. In walk-off fashion, they're going to have to put together another comeback here today to send these home fans into the offseason with a win. We got about twice as many people here for game 2 as we did for game 1.
Finish him.
Fouled back and out of play. I have to send out a special thank you to my good friend Rodney, who helped me out greatly this summer. Got me through one good illness with some moose broth. Rodney, you're a key member to my summer. Strike 3, and Strickler's down.
The Alaska Goldpanners
But
would
the
like to
Star
give a
Chasers
special
pick
thank
up 2
you
more. They
to
lead
the
at
Off-Stop
5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Remember, we're only playing 7.
Alaska
Tate Shamau will look to get some offense started here for the Goldpanners. They trail it 5-2. We're getting late in the game. Bottom of the 6th inning, Garrow Von Dane with you here live. Had a lot of great guests today during our end-of-season doubleheader. Shamau with a ball and a strike. Great start for Derek Atkinson. He's held the Goldpanners to 2 runs on 5 hits through 5 innings. Now works into the 6th. There's a right-hander throwing in the pen. It looks to, is that Swashka? I think it is. Found out a play by Shamau. In game 1, we were visited by Tate Shamau and R.J. Aranda, our starting pitcher here in game 2. And we also had Jeff Olson, sports editor for the Fairbanks Daily News Miner. So if you missed any of those interviews, you can catch those on the archive broadcast from game 1. And Henry Cole joining us here in game 2. And that was a 2-hopper to short. Throw to first is in time to get Shamau. 6-3 put out, 1 away. Panners picked up a run in the 5th inning, but now have just 5 outs left, and they trail it by 3. 10-game winning streak on the line, and here's Brock Rudy, who's 0 for 2 in the game, so he's way overdue, right? Rudy stands in against Atkinson. 2-4-3 groundouts for Brock. And he takes outside for ball 1. Waning moments of the 2022 season here in Fairbanks. 2 huge runs picked up in the top of the 6th by the Star Chasers, all coming after 2 outs were recorded. And Rudy fouls this one back to the wall. It bounces back onto the field. Garza Nunez will toss it over to Ryan Hansen. Goldpanners baseball here on PannerVision. Our next broadcast Tuesday at 12:30 in the afternoon Mountain Time from Salt Lake City, Utah. At the Gates World Series, Panners will take on the Idaho Catch. Strike 3 called on Rudy. Brock disagrees.
Bruh.
Brock rarely strikes out, and even much rarer does he strike out looking.
That for your Goldpanners, number 4, Matthew Pennell.
2 outs. Here the 6th. Matthew Pennell will try to get a 2-out rally started. Eight teams at the Gates World Series. The Utah Marshals, UCL Stars, the Goldpanners, the Las Vegas Gamblers, the Game Day Angels, the San Diego Waves, the San Francisco Seals, and the Idaho Catch. 4 games on Tuesday. Panners play the 2nd game. On Wednesday, the Goldpanners will play at 4:30 against the Game Day Angels. The 1-strike pitch to Pennell, pop back into the seats. On Thursday,
It's brought to you by the Glass Doctor.
Panners will take on the Las Vegas Gamblers at 2:30 p.m. Again, all Mountain Time starts. And then a Friday night game, Goldpanners and Utah Marshals in the feature. And here's the 0-2 to Pennell with 2 outs and the base is empty. Stays alive. 6 teams advance to Saturday. The bottom 2 in each half are done after Friday. The top finisher in each half will have a bye to the afternoon evening games on Saturday. The other 4 teams will play for a chance to get to those semifinals. And then Sunday is your championship game, 11 a.m. Sunday from Salt Lake City. We know the season will last no longer than that. Strike 3 called on Pennell. Atkinson, a 1-2-3-6 with 2 strikeouts. We're headed to the 7th and final inning. Do the Panners have some magic left? They trail at 5-2. Roberto Garza Nunez leads off with the Star Chasers. We head to the 7th and final inning here of the 2022 home season. Nobody's left this one early. Panners trail it 5-2. Ray Padilla back out on the mound. He took care of the first 2 batters by way of strikeout in the 6th, but then hit the next 2 batters. Walked the bases loaded, and then a 2-run single for Calvin Soley gave the Star Chasers 2 more runs and some nice cushion here.
Finish him.
Padilla starts 1-2 on Garza Nunez. He's 0 for 3 in the game. Garrow Von Dane here in Fairbanks, one final time.
Nope.
Through the hole on the right side, a base hit for Garza Nunez. A leadoff single here in the 7th. Obviously, the Panners can ill afford any more runs here for the Star Chasers. Flagstaff GM and Fairbanks native Randy Barber watching from above the Goldpanner dugout, hoping to end the season with a victory over the team he used to work for. Drew Berrigan 0 for 3, but again has hit safely in every game until this one. Runner at first. And it's outside for a ball. Nobody throwing in the Panner pen. Way inside, 3-1, and again, send-off wishes to Emily Houston on the athletic training staff here at the Goldpanners. Moving on after 4 years, back to Kansas, Sunflower State. 2 hopper to third, Garcia to second for 1, not going to get the double play. 5-4 put out of Garza Nunez for the first out of the inning. Berrigan still hitless on the night. Jack Nielsen will bat. He's 0 for 3 in the game. Out of the cleanup spot. 7th and final inning and a 5-2 lead for the Star Chasers. Just 5 Goldpanner hits. Excellent effort for Derek Atkinson. He's gone the whole way. And you have to figure he's going to come out for the bottom of the 7th. Panners haven't batted in the bottom half of the last inning in a long time. Chopper in front of home plate, and the throw to first base. It looked like Shuck wanted to throw to second, but Padilla and umpire were both in between him and Tate Shamau covering the bag, so took the sure thing at first.
Bula White.
2 away for Bula White, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Looking ahead to the Goldpanner half of the 7th, they'll rest their hopes on Alexander, Shook, and Kless. They are a combined 1 for 6 in the game. Swing and a miss. Lined, just foul at hooks. I would have scored a run for sure. Is TikTok going to continue from Salt Lake City?
Or find them on Instagram at
If
Gold
I
Daughters
send them
for
videos,
more
I know that
information.
that might be something Alexis helps with, and
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to help with, seeing how popular that's been.
So maybe we'll have some more TikTok stuff from Salt Lake City. McKinley not making the trip with us, but we'll see if we can still put something together. Alexis will be there taking pictures. Strike 3 called on Bula White, so here we go. Goldpanner half of the final inning. They trail it by 3.
Number 35, Cole Alexander.
Well, this is it, friends. Last chance for the Goldpanners here in the home finale, bottom of the 7th and final inning. And the Panners trail at 5-2 against the Flagstaff Star Chasers. Cole Alexander, Isaac Shook, and Brock Kless due up here. They're all lined up and ready to hit, too, so no pinch hitters look like they will be coming in. Alexander will try to give the Goldpanners a leadoff base runner, put some pressure on Derek Atkinson, who has had a whale of a game. 6 innings, 2 runs on 5 hits. He has not walked a batter today. Hardliner foul into the Panner bullpen.
That foul ball brought to you by the Glass
He has struck out 6.
Luckily, that white truck over there did not get any damage.
The 0-2 fouled off the glove of catcher Knight. So Cole remains alive here. Star Chasers trying to end the Goldpanner 10-game winning streak and deal them a loss in the home finale. Alexander trying to get on base here with 2 strikes. And he swings and misses for strike 3. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Atkinson.
Now up to bat for your Goldpanners, number 17,
Isaac Shook.
Isaac Shook.
We'll look to spark something. Panners running out of time. Again, our next broadcast will be Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time against the Idaho Catch at the Gates World Series.
That foul ball brought to you by Young's Gear and Driveline.
And everybody will head home from there. Atkinson has thrown 104 pitches. 72 for strikes, 32 for balls. And he gets a swing and a miss. He's in front here, 0-2 on Isaac Shook. He struck out 3 in a row. and he has baffled the Goldpanners tonight. Here's the 0-2. Hit hard to left, going back to the wall, and making the catch with his back to the wall is Soley. Isaac Shook right to the Turtle Club sign. Wow. That close. And the Panners are down to their last out, friends. Brock Klez, the last hope. Rally caps are on. And the fans hoping for one last bit of magic here for the Panners. Atkinson trying to finish off a gem here and go into his offseason with some real joy if he can finish off these Goldpanners. Kless 1 for 2, doubled and scored back in the 5th. Panners down to their last out, 5-2, bottom of the 7th. Oh and 2. He has started 2 strikes on all 3 hitters here in the 7th. Two outs, 2 strikes, nobody on, and the 0-2 to Kless. And it's popped up right side, tripping, then regaining his footing and making the catch as Nielsen in foul territory. And the Panners go down in order here in the 7th inning. And that is how the home schedule concludes. The Panners taste defeat for the first time in 11 games. And a big hand for the Panners here in 2022 as the fans bid farewell to their beloved Panners after another fantastic season here at home. The Goldpanners finished 25-8 here at home with 1 tie.
Is only 23 subscribers away from 500. Yeah, if you click the subscribe button on YouTube to follow Alaska Goldpanners.
We almost have 500 subscribers now on the YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click. Get us up to that 500 mark.
Subscriber to the channel.
Well, thanks to the Flagstaff Star Chasers for putting on a good show here in Fairbanks. As their season comes to an end, Mark Lindsay with hugs for his Chico State players on the Star Chasers, and Panners getting one last hand from the home fans here on Fan Appreciation Day at Growden Memorial Park. Man, oh man, we have to say goodbye from Growden. Never gets any easier. We love our fans and friends and family here at Fairbanks, and hopefully you'll be following along when we go to Utah for the Gates World Series again Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time. The Goldpanners will take on the Idaho Catch to start the Gates World Series. Most of these guys will never set foot in Fairbanks again. Some of them hopefully will. They've had an enjoyable summer, and the Fairbanks portion of it comes to an end. And we look forward to the Gates World Series in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yes, especially thank you.
Again, thanks to all my guests today, and thanks to our entire press box crew here in Fairbanks. Andrew Bunton, in his first complete season as public address man.
Saying good day, good night. We'll see you
Andy
next
saying
season.
good night. Henry Cole joined us on the broadcast, his wife Shauna. And intern number 1, Mr. Burnley Guerin, for a great summer on PannerVision. And Chris Carlson is going to be joining us in Salt Lake City. Thank you all for joining us from Fairbanks, Alaska. Garo Von Dane signing off. One final time here from beautiful Growden Memorial Park in the golden heart of Alaska. We'll see you from Salt Lake City. 5-2 Goldpanners fall in the home finale to the Star Chasers. We'll see you on Tuesday, everybody. Thanks again, and good day.